Everybody ready? All right. Good evening. I'm Jeff Carroll, Interim Chief of Police of the Metropolitan Police Department. I'm here this evening to discuss an incredibly tragic incident that occurred here in the 900 block of Barnaby Street Southeast just before 7 p.m. this evening. MPD officers responded to the report of a shooting here in an apartment in the 900 block of Barnaby. When they arrived on the scene, they located a 15-year-old female suffering from a gunshot. That female was later pronounced deceased here on the scene. What we know from the on-scene investigation is the female who is now deceased and another 15-year-old female were inside of an apartment here in the 900 block of Barnaby Street alone when they located an illegal and unsecured firearm inside that location. One of the females picked up the firearm, manipulated it. That firearm went off and struck the other female. Following that discharge of the firearm, the female that was holding the gun put it down and went to seek help to go to another apartment to have someone call 911. And that's what elicited the response of MPD members and DC Fire here at the location. MPD continues to investigate the occupant who actually was the person who lived inside the location. At this time, that person has been placed under arrest for firearms charges. The firearm that was inside the location was not secured as the young people were able to access it. Additionally, it was not registered at this time. So we continue to investigate the incident here, working with the United States Attorney's Office and the Office of the Attorney General as we investigate this matter. With that, I'll take any questions.
Can you talk about the relationship between the two 15-year-olds and the occupants of the apartment? Are they related?
Sure. So what we know at this time is we know that the two 15-year-olds that were involved in this incident are friends, and one of them is the occupant of the apartment is a family friend. They do not live there.
And about the person who owned the gun, what's the relation with the kid who died and also the one in charge?
The person who owns the gun that was charged, he's a family friend of one of the young people.
Are you able to confirm where the young girl was shot? I heard allegedly in the van. Is that accurate?
I'm not going to get into the specific location. I will say that the young person was struck by a round, and she is deceased because of that.
Is the girl that called 911 when the pistol went off, is she being charged?
So right now she's not being charged, but again, we are continuing to investigate. This is a very early in the investigation. Like I said, it happened around 7 o'clock, so we're about 2.5 hours into this investigation.
Is she in custody?
She's not in custody at this time. However, she's being interviewed by detectives. As you can imagine, she is very upset by this. This is, like as I said, started out saying, this is a very tragic incident that really, one young person has lost their life, and another young person is impacted traumatically. To see her best friend or good friend to be shot is it's just so tragic.
Were there other kids in that apartment other than the two young girls?
The information we have this time is just the two females were in there.
Chief, and also what kind of gun was, if you can describe?
The information we have, it was a handgun.
Any message to the public or the community tonight?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's just, as a father myself, this is just such a tragic circumstance when you see, like I said, two young people whose lives have been tremendously impacted, the friends and families, the loved ones, the parents of these children. All this is caused by an illegal firearm that was not properly secured inside a location. It's really just changed the course of so many people's lives. It's so tragic. Obviously, anyone that has a firearm, it should always be secured. It should be legally registered. But it just reinforces the need to make sure that all firearms are stored securely, they are unloaded, they are not accessible to young people or to anybody who should not have access.
So at this time, would you say this might just be an accident?
At this time, the individual who is the occupant is being charged with firearms charges. Again, we continue to investigate that. It does appear to be accidental on the part of the young person that picked up the gun and it went off.
Chief, or at least I was there when the parents of the mom showed on scene. Obviously, the wailing was unthinkable. Came back from some pain for you all. I know many of you are parents, so to have experienced that, what is that like? And also just you've had some gun issues in the communities and things like that. If this kind of hits home for people with friends getting access to it, it was an accident, but there is a life loss. Can you hit on that a little bit, just from the patterns that we've seen?
I mean, for our officers, I mean, anytime you respond to gun violence, it definitely has an impact on you. I mean, the officers who are on the scene, trying to work through that and seeing the pain that family and friends and loved ones have, it's very impactful. So again, our officers just trying to show compassion to those folks that are out there. Provide the information that we can. But again, this is, like I said, it's a very tragic situation for the officers to have to deal with. But really, it's the family, the friends, and the neighborhood here in the community that we continue to support for.
More questions? Way to go, Dixie there. As we move towards the beginning of the summer, the school's about to be out. We will feel pumped to just come to this community and talk about safety of guns and making sure that you store them properly if they are registered. That's what they're for, if they are registered, because this is a big tragedy. Two friends and a family member, one of them. We don't even know how to digest this.
No, it is such tragedy, and to your point, exactly, the importance of storing firearms appropriately, making sure they're unloaded, properly locked, the ammunition is separated. So again, we will do outreach here, not only in this community, but also push across the city with that. Obviously, if there is anyone who has any information about illegal firearms or where they may be located at, they can always reach out to MPD at 202-727-9099, or they can text us anonymously at 50411 as well.
Last question.
Just was one shot, Chief? Just one shot?
Again, the information we have is there was one shot at this time, but we are still investigating. All right.
She was
Thank you.
on the scene.
She was pronounced on the scene. Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Thank